This is a couple of cross-indexing of a lot of different files that I experienced throughout my life. So I'll share this one, which was shared through the MCEO uh, dance for being free, be a free spirit. What it means to be a free spirit, not held captive, right? To this lower vibration, higher vibration. And particularly if you read down to the bottom where it talks about greater expansion of energy units equal less density, equal less magnetism, equals more electric. So that's why, for example, when I was a child, I was sensitive. I didn't know how I was going to function mathematically, right? Operating in a war game table, a mathematical table that is a war game, wargaming numbers related to space arcs. So last night when I did that file, generated that file, I was reminiscing, for example, the year 1977. And while this may not seem associated, we're all connected as it relates to filing systems. When I was living up in Southern Oregon at a particular address and was working with the U.S. Forest Service in forest fire control, and I was going to marry this girl with a ring of Saturn, right? And if you remember a file that I shared about her, that before I put the ring of Saturn on her left hand, the magnetic side, I acknowledged that this was only going to last 7 years. And it only lasted 7 years. And not uncoincidentally, I had a son through that relationship. When he was 3, he disappeared. See how that relates to chromosome 21 and the number 7. Because what ended up happening is that the year that I married her was 1977 in a mathematical table, a water table, a matrix table. So you see how the 7 and the 3 works with 21, because what ended up happening after year 3, she went in another direction, along with my son, the number 3. So they both disappeared, and I haven't seen my son since. Okay, so in 1977, there I am in Southern Oregon. And you see how this works with calculus, right? Dividers, multipliers, addition and subtraction with complex number space. The primal substances of manifestation, born out of pure, eternal, absolute love, to experience the true still point of a true vacuum. The echo, the solar matrix, the 3, the branch of a triangle, and how that relates to 9 and 6. Okay, which just happens to be the difference between what? 15 degrees, as that relates to an actual spin tone of a Merkaba. The hex nut, psycho case, a mental case, the mental field, sick. Because we're not experiencing being totally calm with our endocrine system, the breathing tempo. Because the codes are convoluted, which generates what? Mutagenic effects, which is consciousness that is mutagenic, as that relates to terraforming the form and flow of a natural crystal spiral that is always on fire to create worlds born out of first eternal units of consciousness that are experiencing being loved with the Grand Creator. So I serve the Grand Creator, which is divine right mathematical order, which is divine right breathing, Breathing right on time. That means that the mathematical spin ratios are perfect, which is perfect breathing timing to experience the echo, the core of creation. Pure, internal, eternal, external creation. C-space. And so it wasn't a coincidence, therefore, when I was a child, I was 7 years of age, standing there on a foundation of dirt in an area where they were going to build tract homes in the San Fernando Valley, and I looked up in the sky. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And the reason that I didn't want to do that is because I knew my future memories. And I didn't want to experiencing pure, eternal, absolute love in my heart, what I already knew I was going to experience between then, at 7 years of age, and where I'm at now. That means that I had access to a future file when I was 7 years of age, in which to what? Acknowledge that. And that is a speed function, which is a mathematical function. Because who do you think is informing me of that? The Silver and Gold Mated Riche, the one I serve, forever and always on duty. The memories of trees, the future memories of trees. The trees as branch directories. Branch directories like an address book, like a phone book. Right? Access to all the files. The memories of files. Memory-driven program apps. The application of units of consciousness that represent formations, as in for matter, the matter state, right? The template. The speed, the mathematical speed ratios, the speed to rebuild the organic proto, as in like the first one, the first architect built the template, the first temple, the eternal temple, eternal spirit of fire. Join as one with ice to experience being still, the still point of a true vacuum. So the PSI codes fire exactly as they were originally intended to fire in order to experience the eternal spirit of fire. So we're on fire to learn and we're on fire to create. So we're learning through the one, the silver and gold mated one, in order to know the one we serve, what our future memories are. That's pretty simple, and that's called simple complex number space. Minus I to the I. Imaginary numbers. Our imagination. The creative quotient. The electrical speed. The electrical speed. Kicking out neutrinos. Yeah, so a server. A natural self-generating server. And so I thought it was pretty fascinating to sort of reminisce with some of these files that I opened up of realizing the speed at which echo maps are changing in order to experience what I already knew I was going to experience at 7 years of age that I'm experiencing right now. That's access to future memories because you're already there. Because there isn't any time. That's how you know. That's how you know one from the other. Have a beautiful afternoon. Be good to our inner child. Healing the inner child. The inner cells. The inner breath. The inner breath of Kemaloati. The healing powers of Earth Asala, Kirashe.